Hi students, this is Botany PSR. In the previous class, I explained about simple tissues. Now, I am going to explain about complex tissues. What are the complex tissues? And about xylem. Today we will discuss about xylem. Right. Complex tissue. What is a complex tissue? A tissue which contain more than one kind of cells. More than one kind of cells. More than one kind of cells is called complex. If one kind of cells is it is called simple tissue. More than one kind of cells it is called complex tissue. These complex tissues are also called vascular tissues. Why? Because these are present in VBS. VBS means vascular bundles. So, complex tissues are also called vascular tissues because these are present in vascular bundles. Next, complex tissues are also called conducting tissues. Why? Because these are useful for conduction of water and food materials, because these are useful for conduction. Plants with vascular tissues are, which plants will possess vascular tissues? The plants that possess vascular tissues are placed in a group called Tracheophyta. Tracheo means vascular tissues, phyta means plants. The plants that possess vascular tissues are called Tracheophyta. What are the plants? That is Pteridophyta, Gymnosperms and Angiosperms. These three plants are called Tracheophyta. First vascular plants are Pteridophytes. Last vascular plants are Angiosperms. Right. The plants that possess vascular tissues are called Tracheophyta. Tracheophyta includes Pteridophyta, Gymnosperms, Angiosperms. First vascular plants found in Pteridophyta. Last vascular plants found in Angiosperms. Types of complex tissues. Two types, xylem, phloem. Xylem is a dead complex tissue, whereas phloem is a living complex tissue. So, dead complex tissue is xylem. Living complex tissue is phloem. Right. Now, we have to discuss about xylem today. Xylem. Xylem is also called hydrome. Xylem is also called hydrome. Hydro means what? Water. So, xylem is also called water. Why? Because it is useful for conduction of water from roots to stem and leaves, from roots to aerial parts of the plant body. That is upward conduction. So, useful for conduction of water from roots to stem and leaves, or from roots to aerial parts of the plant body. This conduction is upward. Next, components in xylem. How many components are present in xylem? 4 components: tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers, xylem parenchyma. Number of components in xylem: 4. Tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers, xylem parenchyma. Tracheids and vessels together called tracheary elements. What are tracheary elements? Both tracheids and vessels together called tracheary elements. Tracheids, a dead component. Vessels, a dead component. Xylem fibers, dead component. Xylem parenchyma, it is a living component. Number of living components in xylem: 1. Number of living components in xylem: 1. Number of dead components in xylem: 3. No need to by heart, my dear students. Parenchyma. Parenchyma, yesterday in the previous class, simple tissues are of 3 types, no? Parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Both parenchyma and collenchyma are living tissues. Sclerenchyma is a dead tissue. Sclerenchyma contains two components, fibers, sclerites. Sclerenchyma is a dead tissue, means fibers and sclerites also dead tissues. So fiber, wherever the fiber is K means it is a dead component. Wherever parenchyma is there means it is a living component. So the living component in xylem is xylem parenchyma. Remaining three components are dead. That's why xylem is a dead complex tissue. Xylem is a dead complex tissue. Living complex tissue is phloem. Number of components xylem 4. Tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers, xylem parenchyma. The only living component in xylem is xylem parenchyma. The dead components in phloem are tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers. Number of dead components 3. Number of living components in xylem 1, that is xylem parenchyma. If we study one by one means it is somewhat difficult. If we study the comparison means it is somewhat easy. So I make it simple. Okay. Now let's learn in comparison. These are tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers, xylem parenchyma. See, these are the tracheids. What is the shape? These are elongated or tube-like cells. Elongated tube-like cells, or you may say elongated spindle-shaped with tapering ends. Tapering ends means pointed ends. So elongated tube-like cells, that is tracheids. And this is the common wall. This common wall contain bordered bits on their common walls. Bordered bits are present on their common walls. Bordered bits means connections. Okay, right. And this is the vessel. Now this is called one vessel member. One vessel member. Here, these are the perforations. These are the perforations. Perforations are present on end walls or common walls. See, this is one vessel member. This is another vessel member. This is another vessel member. Each one is called vessel member. Vessel members are present one above the other in a longitudinal row. All these vessel members together called vessel. One vessel contains vessel is to vessel members means many. One is to many. So many vessel members arranged in a longitudinal row. Vessel member, vessel member, vessel member. Many vessel members arranged in a longitudinal row. All those vessel members together called one vessel. So one vessel contains many vessel members. Okay. So this vessel member, this is the common wall or end wall. For this vessel member, for this vessel, this is the common wall, also called end wall. So perforations are present on end walls or common walls. Perforations are present on end walls or common walls. So end walls are perforated. End walls are perforated. Right. Shape of the cell is long, cylindrical, tube-like cells. Long, cylindrical, tube-like cells. Long, cylindrical, tube-like cells are called vessel or vessel member. But what is the difference between vessel and vessel member? Many vessel members are arranged one above the other as a longitudinal row, together called one vessel. One vessel contains number of vessel members, many. Where do you find perforations? End walls. also called common walls. Right. Shape of the vessel is long, cylindrical, tube-like cells. Here shape xylem fibers, elongated, spindle-shaped with tapering ends. That is, xylem fiber shape is similar to tracheids. Xylem fibers shape is similar to tracheids, but here internally obliterated central lumen is present. Obliterated means narrow central lumen is present. When compared to tracheid, here lumen is somewhat narrow, but shape is same. What is that lumen? These are, xylem is a dead tissue. What is a dead cell? Cell without a protoplasm is called dead cell. If protoplasm is absent, empty space is present. This empty space is called lumen. Here this empty space is called lumen. So, as protoplasm is absent, these are so called dead cells. If protoplasm is absent, the empty space present inside the dead cell is called lumen. Right. Shape of the cell is elongated, spindle shaped with tapering ends. Tapering ends means pointed ends. These have obliterated central lumen. Obliterated means narrow central lumen. Okay. This is the xylem parenchyma. Xylem parenchyma means rectangular cells. Rectangular cells. This is the living component. Why? Because cytoplasm, this is the cytoplasm. And this is the nucleus. Shape of the cell is rectangular cells. And try to recall, my dear students, shape of the cells. Elongated or tube-like cells. Elongated or tube-like cells. Or these are tracheids shape is similar to the shape of xylem fibers. That is elongated, spindle shaped with tapering ends. Tapering ends means pointed ends. Elongated or tube-like cells. This is the point related to both tracheids and xylem fibers. But here somewhat lumen is somewhat more. In xylem fibers, obliterated central lumen is present. Obliterated means narrow central lumen. Narrow. Obliterated central lumen found in xylem fibers. Right. This vessel member shape is long, cylindrical, tube-like cells. These are elongated tube-like cells or elongated spindle-shaped cells with pointed ends or tapering ends. These are xylem parenchyma cells are rectangular cells. Right. Next, functions. These tracheids are useful for both water conduction and also mechanical strength, but main function is water conduction. Tracheids are useful for water conduction and mechanical strength. Main function of tracheids is water conduction. Vessel members or vessels. Vessels are useful for water conduction. And xylem fibers, sclerenchyma useful for mechanical strength. That means fibers and sclerites are useful for mechanical strength. Wherever that fibers will came means those are useful for mechanical strength only. Fibers. The fibers in xylem are called xylem fibers. Fibers actually these are the components of sclerenchyma. No? Sclerenchyma is divided into two types, fibers, sclerites. So the fibers in xylem are called xylem fibers, useful for mechanical strength. And xylem parenchyma useful for storage, very very important point. So that is xylem parenchyma useful for storage. What type of materials it store? Storage of food materials like starch or fat, food materials like starch or fat, other substances like tannins, Now I am asking one question. Xylem parenchyma is useful for storage of food materials like starch or fat. True. Xylem parenchyma useful for storage of food materials like tannins. False. Tannin is not a food material. Tannin is the other substances. So, xylem parenchyma is useful for storage. True. Xylem parenchyma is useful for storage of food materials like starch or fat. True. Xylem parenchyma is useful for storage of other substances like tannins. True. Xylem parenchyma is useful for storage of other substances like starch or fat. False. Other substances like tannins. Food materials like starch or fat. We have to remember like that. Okay. What is the function of xylem parenchyma? Storage. Now, again I am repeating functions. Tracheids useful for both water conduction and mechanical strength. Vessels are useful for water conduction. Xylem fibers useful for mechanical strength, and xylem parenchyma useful for storage of food materials like starch or fat, other substances like tannins. Next, these tracheids are found in pteridophyta, gymnosperms and angiosperms. So, the main water conducting elements in pteridophyta, tracheids. The main water conducting elements in gymnosperms, tracheids. Next, these vessels are found in angiosperms. The vessels are the characteristic feature of angiosperms. Vessels are the characteristic features of angiosperms. Very, very important point. Vessels are found only in angiosperms, not in other groups. Vessels are the characteristic features of angiosperms. Here no need to remember like that. Okay. Next. Tracheids are considered as primitive type. Why? Because these are found in pteridophyta, gymnosperms. These vessels are considered to be the advanced type. Why? Because this angiosperm contain vessels. Angiosperms are considered as advanced type. These angiosperms contain both tracheids and vessels. Main means vessels. Vessels is the characteristic feature of angiosperms. But anyhow, angiosperms contain vessels and also tracheids. But pteridophyta, gymnosperms contain only tracheids and no vessels. Okay. Next, advanced type. Here no need to study like that. Next, wherever you are saying dead cells means cell walls are thick walled, made up of lignin. Lignin means secondary cell wall. So, these are dead cells with thick walled lignified cell walls. Dead cells means generally made up of lignin. Secondary cell wall is made up of lignin. Thick cell wall made up of lignin. Dead cells with thick walled lignified cell walls. These are also dead cells with thick walled lignified cell walls. This xylem fibers also dead cells with highly thick walled lignified cell walls. Highly. That is, lignin is very much most abundant component. So, that is lignin is present more amount in xylem fibers, and these are the living cells. Xylem parenchyma are living cells. Living cells means cell walls are thin, don't say thick, and these are cellulose. Cell walls are made up of cellulose. That is, how can you remember means, that is dead cells with thick walled lignified cell walls found in, that is tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers. Living cells with cellulosic thin walled means xylem parenchyma. Xylem parenchyma. So, what are the dead components of xylem? That is tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers. These three are the dead components. So, dead components means thick walled lignified cell walls. Dead cells with thick walled lignified cell walls found in means tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers. Cell walls are thin walled, made up of cellulose means xylem parenchyma. Next, here bordered pits are present on their common walls. Bordered pits are present on their common walls. Now look at here, my dear students. These are the bordered pits. These are the bordered pits. This is the common wall. So where do you find the bordered pits? Bordered pits are present on their common walls. Right, here perforations are present in common walls or end walls. Perforations means this is the perforation, this is the perforation, perforation, perforation. Perforations are present on their common walls, also called end walls. Here simple or bordered pits are present. Simple pits or bordered pits. Here that type of pits are absent. Did you understand, my dear students? Like this you have to study. So dead components of xylem means tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers. Living component means, living component of xylem means xylem parenchyma. Shape of tracheid is elongated tube-like cells. Xylem fibers also elongated tube-like cells or elongated spindle-shaped cells with tapering ends. Shape of vessel is long, cylindrical, tube-like cells. Long, cylindrical, tube-like cells. Shape of xylem parenchyma is rectangular. Next, functions. Tracheid functions means water conduction, mechanical strength. Vessels, water conduction. Xylem fibers useful for mechanical strength. Xylem parenchyma useful for storage. Okay. Next, what are the dead components means? Dead components of xylem. Tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers. Living component of xylem. Xylem parenchyma. That is very, very important. The only living component in xylem is xylem parenchyma. The living component in xylem is xylem parenchyma. Next, obliterated central lumen found in. Obliterated central lumen found in xylem fibers. Very, very important point. Obliterated means narrow central lumen. Obliterated central lumen found in, that is xylem fibers. Highly thick walled lignified cell walls found in xylem fibers. So where do xylem components 4 no? Where do you find xylem is absent? Where do you find lumen is absent? Xylem parenchyma, that is a living cell, that's why lumen is absent. Very narrow lumen found in xylem fibers. And when compared to xylem fibers, somewhat more lumen found in tracheids. When compared to tracheids, lumen is somewhat more in vessel. So that is highest lumen, that is wider lumen found in, highest wider lumen found in vessel. Okay, lumen is absent in, lumen absent means it should be the living cell. Living cell is xylem parenchyma, right? Then we have to learn individually, this is xylem parenchyma. This xylem parenchyma is a living component of xylem. The only living component of xylem is xylem parenchyma. It is of two types. It is of two types. Axial parenchyma, ray parenchyma. Axial parenchyma means arranged in vertical rows. Ray parenchyma means arranged in horizontal rows. This is parallel to longitudinal axis of the plant body. This is perpendicular to plant body, perpendicular like this. So that is parallel to the plant body means axial parenchyma. Perpendicular to the plant body means ray parenchyma. Wherever that ray sound is there, useful for ray parenchyma. Ray means useful for radial conduction or lateral conduction. Useful for radial conduction of water, also called lateral conduction of water. Very, very important. Ray parenchyma useful for radial conduction of water or lateral conduction of water. Next, one more important point, my dear students, increasing order based on lumen size. Increasing order based on lumen size. Xylem parenchyma lumen is absent. Xylem fibers, obliterated central lumen found in xylem fibers. Somewhat more means tracheids. Highest wider lumen found in vessels. Xylem parenchyma lumen is absent. Somewhat more xylem fibers, somewhat more tracheids, somewhat more vessels. This is the increasing order based on lumen size. So, please note down all these points. That one like that comparison. First diagram. Now look at here, my dear students, in the primary plant body, that is before secondary growth, in the primary growth of plant body, procambium produces primary xylem and primary phloem. Primary xylem is formed from, that is procambium. Primary phloem is formed from procambium. Next, in secondary plant body, that is during secondary growth, vascular cambium produces secondary xylem and secondary phloem. That means this is the representation. Procambium produces primary xylem and primary phloem. Vascular cambium produces secondary xylem and secondary phloem. Now, try to remember, my dear students, primary xylem is formed from procambium. Secondary xylem is formed from vascular cambium. Similarly, primary phloem is formed from procambium. Secondary phloem is formed from vascular cambium. So that means procambium forms primary xylem, primary phloem. Vascular cambium produces secondary xylem, secondary phloem. Secondary xylem is also called wood. Secondary phloem is also called bast. Primary xylem is also called hydrome. Primary phloem is also called leptome. Xylem is also called hydrome. Secondary xylem also called wood. Phloem is also called leptome. 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 Secondary phloem is also called bast. Next, primary xylem. In the primary plant body, primary xylem is present. This primary xylem is of two types, protoxylem, metaxylem. Proto means first. So first formed xylem is called protoxylem. Later formed xylem is called metaxylem. Later means younger. First formed means older. Older xylem is protoxylem. Younger xylem is metaxylem, or newly formed xylem is metaxylem. First formed xylem is proto. No need to by heart. Protoxylem. Proto means first. If first formed means it would be the older. Right. First formed xylem is protoxylem. Later formed xylem is metaxylem. In the diagrams, first formed xylem means like this, small. This is the TS of vessel. TS of vessel, not LS. Okay, small. It is somewhat bigger means like this. First formed xylem would be smaller in size, whereas later formed xylem, metaxylem, would be in bigger in size. First formed xylem is called protoxylem. Later formed xylem is called metaxylem. Older xylem is protoxylem. Younger xylem is metaxylem. Right. Next, another concept: exarch, endarch, mesarch. Exarch, exarch, based on the position of protoxylem. If protoxylem is present towards periphery, it is so called exarch. Based on the position of protoxylem, not on the position of metaxylem. Try to remember, my dear students, these words exarch and endarch. These words are given according to, based on protoxylem. X means outer side, end means inner side. What is the inner side here? Protoxylem, based on the position of protoxylem. Right, based on the position of protoxylem. Protoxylem is towards outer side, periphery. Protoxylem towards periphery. Periphery means towards epidermis. Protoxylem towards periphery, or metaxylem towards center. It is so called exarch xylem. If that exarch xylem is present, growth of xylem, formation of xylem is centripetal. If exarch xylem is present, growth of xylem is centripetal. This is the characteristic feature of roots. Exarch xylem is a characteristic feature of roots. Endarch, end means towards center. Protoxylem towards center. Metaxylem towards periphery. Center means towards medulla. Periphery means towards epidermis. Periphery means towards epidermis. Growth of xylem is centrifugal. If endarch xylem is present, growth of xylem or formation of xylem is centrifugal. It is a characteristic feature of stems. Exarch condition found in roots. Endarch condition found in stems. Very, very important points. So, if protoxylem towards outer side, it is called protoxylem towards outer side is called exarch. If protoxylem towards inner side center, it is called endarch. Okay. Now they will give sometimes like this: metaxylem towards inner side is called. Metaxylem towards inner side means protoxylem towards outer side. That is, metaxylem towards inner side means metaxylem towards inner side or center. That is, protoxylem towards periphery. Like that you have to treat. It is so called exarch. Now another question: metaxylem towards periphery. Metaxylem towards periphery means protoxylem towards center. Protoxylem towards center, it is called endarch. Exarch is a characteristic feature of roots. Endarch is a characteristic feature of stems. Root means dicot root, monocot root. Stems means dicot stem, monocot stem. Right. Mesarch. Of course, this mesarch type is not in the NCERT syllabus. Of course, mesarch means protoxylem is at the middle. On either side, metaxylem patches are present. See, this is the protoxylem. This is the metaxylem. This is also metaxylem. Protoxylem is at center. On either side of protoxylem, metaxylem patches are present. Protoxylem at center, and on either side of protoxylem, metaxylems are present. That condition is so called mesarc xylem. Next, it is found in stems and leaves of ferns. Ferns means belongs to Pteridophyta. Ferns is a group found in Pteridophyta. So, exarch condition found in roots, endarch condition found in stems, mesarch condition found in stems and leaves of ferns. Stems and leaves of ferns. Exarch condition found in roots means dicot root, monocot root. Endarch condition found in stems. Stems means dicot stem, monocot stem. Exarch condition found in roots. Growth of xylem in root is centripetal. Growth of xylem in stem is centrifugal. Growth of xylem in stem is centrifugal. Why? Because in stems, endarch xylem is present. Okay? Now look at here, my dear students. These two are very, very important points. In flowering plants, the main water conducting elements are both tracheids and vessels. This is the NCERT textbook line. So, in flowering plants, the main water conducting elements are tracheids and vessels. Of course, actually vessels, but in our NCERT textbook it is given as vessels, both tracheids and vessels. According to NCERT textbook, both tracheids and vessels. Here flowering plants means angiosperms. The main water conducting elements in flowering plants are both tracheids and vessels. Vessels are the characteristic feature of angiosperms. Right. The main water conducting elements in Pteridophyta, gymnosperms means the main water conducting elements in Pteridophyta and gymnosperms means tracheids. And one more important point, vessels are characteristic feature of angiosperms. Angiosperms means both dicots and monocots. Vessels are the characteristic feature of angiosperms. That is, vessels are found in both dicots and monocots. So, this is about xylem. Okay. So, dead components of xylem means tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers. Living component of xylem means xylem parenchyma. The main water conducting elements in Pteridophyta, gymnosperms means tracheids. The main water conducting elements in angiosperms means vessels. Main water conducting elements in flowering plants means both tracheids and vessels. Next, obliterated central lumen found in xylem fibers. Obliterated central lumen found in xylem fibers. Lumen is found in means dead cells. Tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers. Lumen is absent in, that is xylem parenchyma. Xylem parenchyma cells are thin walled and made up of cellulose. Thin walled cellulosic cell walls found in xylem parenchyma. Dead cells with thick walled lignified cell walls found in tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers. Dead cells with highly thickened lignified cell walls found in highly thickened means xylem fibers. In flowering plants, this point is very, very important point, my dear students. In flowering plants, the main water conducting elements are both tracheids and vessels. The main water conducting elements in Pteridophyta means tracheids. Gymnosperms means tracheids. Vessels are the characteristic feature of angiosperms. Next one, angiosperms contain tracheids, vessels, both. Both you have to write. Angiosperms contain both tracheids and vessels. Vessels function water conduction. Tracheids function water conduction and mechanical strength. Main function of tracheids is water conduction. Other function means mechanical strength. Xylem fibers useful for mechanical strength. Xylem parenchyma useful for storage. Storage of food materials like starch or fat. Other substances like tannins. So this is about xylem. I hope you understood, my dear students, and we will meet in the next class.